In the very beginning, before there were any people or places, everything was dark and empty. Then, a great and loving voice spoke into the quiet. "Let there be light." And just like that, a beautiful, warm light filled the nothingness. The light was called day, and the darkness was called night. On the second day, the voice spoke again, creating a big, blue sky. It stretched high above, separating the waters in the clouds from the waters down below. A gentle breeze began to whisper across the world for the first time. On the third day, the voice commanded the waters to gather together, and dry land appeared. Soon the land was covered in soft green grass, tall, strong trees with delicious fruit, and flowers of every color you can imagine. On the fourth day, the voice placed a bright, shining sun in the sky to warm the day. For the night, it created a gentle, glowing moon and sprinkled the dark sky with countless twinkling stars. On the fifth day, the world was filled with life. The voice filled the seas with fish of all shapes and sizes, whooshing and splashing in the water. Then it filled the sky with birds, who soared and sang beautiful songs. On the sixth day, the voice created all the animals that walk on the land, the lions that roar, the rabbits that hop, and the elephants that stomp. Then, from the dust of the ground, God carefully formed the first man, Adam. God gave him the job of naming all the animals. God saw that Adam was alone, so he gave him a wonderful gift. While Adam was in a deep sleep, God created the first woman, Eve, to be his friend and partner. When Adam woke up, he was so happy to see her. In the middle of their garden home, called Eden, were two special trees. God told Adam and Eve they could eat from any tree but one, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. But one day, a clever serpent tricked Eve. "Did God really say you can't eat from this tree?" it whispered. "It will make you wise." Eve listened to the serpent. She took a piece of the fruit and ate it, then gave some to Adam, who ate it too. Suddenly, they felt sad and ashamed. They knew they had broken God's only rule, and they tried to hide. Because they had disobeyed, Adam and Eve could no longer stay in the perfect Garden of Eden. It was a sad day. Their lives would be harder now, but God still loved them and promised to always be with them as they began their new life in the world. After leaving the garden, Adam and Eve had two sons. The older son, Cain, was a farmer who grew vegetables in the rich soil. The younger son, Abel, was a shepherd who took care of fluffy, gentle sheep. The brothers worked under the same sun, but in their own separate fields. One day, the brothers brought special gifts to thank God. Cain brought some of the best vegetables from his garden. Abel brought the finest firstborn lamb from his flock. A warm, happy light shone down from the heavens, and God was very pleased with Abel's gift. But God was not as pleased with Cain's gift, and Cain's heart grew heavy and angry. A feeling of jealousy, like a tangled weed, began to grow inside him. He looked at his own gift on the ground and felt that it wasn't good enough. Instead of listening to the good voice in his heart that told him to try again, Cain listened to his anger. He asked his brother to walk with him in a field. There, overcome by his jealousy, he did a terrible thing and hurt his brother. Because of his sad choice, Cain had to leave his family and wander the earth. Adam and Eve were heartbroken, but God gave them another son, named Seth, to bring new hope and continue their family. Many, many years passed. Families grew and spread all over the world. People lived for a very, very long time. The family tree that started with Adam and Eve grew many branches, and one of those branches led to a good man named Noah. But as the world filled with people, it also filled with meanness and fighting. People stopped being kind to each other and forgot about God. This made God's heart very sad. He saw that the beautiful world he had made was no longer full of love. In all the world, God saw that Noah was different. Noah was a righteous man who still loved God and listened to him. So God spoke to Noah and shared his sad plan. He was going to wash the world clean with a great flood, but he wanted to save Noah. God gave Noah a very important job. Build a giant boat, God said, an ark, make it out of wood, with many rooms inside. God told him to bring his wife, his 3 sons, and their wives onto the boat to be safe. You must save the animals too, God said. Bring 2 of every kind, a boy and a girl, into the ark. Noah did everything God asked. Soon, animals of all shapes and sizes began to arrive, walking side by side toward the giant open door of the boat. A long, long time ago, there lived a kind-hearted man named Noah. One day, a warm and gentle voice came from the sky. Noah, it said, the world is about to take a very big bath. I need you to build a great ark to keep all the animal friends safe. Noah ran to his wife Naamah and told her the news. My dear, we have to build a very, very big boat. It will be a home for all our animal friends. Naamah smiled brightly and said, what a wonderful plan. Let's start together right away. From the very next day, Noah began to build. Tap, tap, tap went his hammer. He moved large logs, sawed them into planks, and worked up a sweat building the ark. Heave ho, he'd say. Thinking of his animal friends made the hard work feel easy. When the ark was almost finished, the animal friends began to arrive one by one. First came a pair of brave lions, strolling along. Noah greeted them with a big smile. Welcome! Your spot is right over there. The elephants with trunks for hands came stomping aboard. Thump, thump, and the long-necked giraffes followed with great strides. Naamah gave the animals delicious fruit and said kindly, welcome everyone. Our ark is very safe. Once all the animal friends were on board, rain began to fall from the sky. Plink, plunk, plink. The raindrops grew bigger and bigger, pouring down until they covered the whole world. Noah's great ark floated gently on the water and began its safe journey. Inside the ark, Noah took great care of his animal friends. Here you go, eat some tasty hay, he said, bringing soft grass to the zebras and patting their heads. Naamah held the frightened baby lambs close in her arms. It's okay, don't be scared. The rain will stop soon. The animals felt calm and safe, hearing Naamah's gentle voice. After a very long time, the rain finally stopped. Noah opened a small window and sent a white dove out into the world. Go, little one, and see if you can find new land for us. The dove flapped its wings powerfully and flew up into the blue sky. A short time later, the dove returned with a green leaf in its beak. Soon, the ark came to rest on a high mountain, and the great door swung open. Outside, a clean, new world stretched before them, and the most beautiful rainbow they had ever seen arched across the sky. Noah and Naamah looked at each other and smiled with happiness.